family, we are back with another great edition of Facts or Nah, brought to you by rogueshop.com. Fellas, are we ready to do this?
Oh, yes, we are.
All right, it's time to get it kicked off with our first question, and we will start just like this.
This episode of Facts or Nah is brought to you by Rogue Shop. Looking to reduce stress or improve your quality of sleep? Rogue Shop has you covered with a wide range of premium products, including gummies, bath salts, and oils. Go to rogueshop.com and use code Rapport when you check out. That way, they know we sent you. All right?
Facts or Nah, Shedrick Jackson will have over 600 yards this season. What are we thinking?
I'm actually going to go nah here. And I like Shed, but I think the coaches have figured out how to use him. I expect to see Shed used a lot in blocking still. He's very good at blocking, but I expect to see him used in a lot of possession routes, short routes, intermediate routes. I don't expect to see him running a lot of long routes. And I think with other players coming on that I'm excited to see, of course, you got your Malcolm Johnson Jr.'s, your Jay Fairs. You have a few other people who are ready to show what they can do. I expect Auburn to be able to complete some passes downfield, which will get a lot of other guys involved into the offense. And I think figuring out where Shed fits into this offense as a possession receiver, I think he'll definitely have some opportunities, even get close to his 527 yards that he got last year. But I'm not quite sure he gets over 600 unless the offense just explodes, which I'd love to see it, but I'm gonna go nah for now.
I'm actually go with C and say nah. Even though Shed was much improved towards the end of the season last season, what he was during the early parts of the season was targeted, playing the receiver and running certain routes that really weren't in his skill set. I think they have that figured out. They'll have the speed guys out there. They'll have Landon King out there, wide receiver. We'll have more pass catchers that are ready to contribute earlier. And we still got tight ends coming back that we expect to be very productive. And the running game should be better if the offensive line is just a smidge better at run blocking, which means we should be able to do some things on the ground without having to pass the ball. So while I expect him to be just as critical on certain downs, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be more yardage or more catches for him. So I'm going to say nah.
I think I'm going to go for the clean sweep here and say nah. I do think his catches will be up this season. I do think his yards per reception is going to go down this season, though. So I think he'll be close to what he had last season with more catches. But I just don't see him being the deep threat that we need. And usually when you're seeing over 600 yards, it's going to be a guy who's either going to be targeted a lot, which I don't expect Shedrick Jackson to be the most targeted receiver or even have the most receptions on the team, even though I see an increase in productivity, or it's going to be someone who's getting a lot of deep receptions, which I also don't see being the role for Shedrick Jackson on this team. So for those reasons, I'm going to go nah.
All right, fellas. Facts or nah? Auburn football will average over 30 points per game for the month of September. What y'all think?
Facts, we had better. Too many cupcakes on the schedule, man. We can't come out here averaging less than 30 points a game. And I think we need to get in the rhythm. We need to show some improvement, build confidence among all the players that were here who have bought in early, get some high flying going, get some passes downfield completed. And I think that we do that definitely against our cupcake opponents, Penn State. Yeah, I think we get some get back against them, and we do the same against them as well. So I'm going to say facts, over 30 a game in September.
I am going to go facts on this one as well. Let's look at the September schedule, right? So we've got Mercer and San Jose State. If we don't score more than 30 points in both of those games, tragic. I think that we're going to get off to a high-flying start, and we're going to give ourselves a big cushion going into the final two games of September, which are Missouri and Penn State. Let's talk about Missouri first. Unless they've had a drastic overhaul in their ability to play defensive football, they're going to be giving up points left and right. I don't know how much better their defense is going to get year over year. I just don't see it making enough of a dent in their ability to stop quality offenses. Not saying that Auburn will be quality, but at least in athleticism, quality enough to put up points. So I believe that we can get over 30 points there. So that's 3 of the 4 games. I expect us to get well over 30 in 2 of them, and at least 30 to 40 in that third, which will leave Penn State. Scored 20 last year against Penn State at Penn State. I can't anticipate us scoring less points this season with an offense that I expect to be a little bit more efficient and a defense that I expect to be a little bit more sound. So if we score in the mid-20s against Penn State, that will give us that 30 or better average. So overall, I'm going to go facts with this one and say 30 or more for the month of September. You can lock that in.
Yeah, guys, I'm going to go clean sweep here and say facts as well for a lot of the reasons the guys have just mentioned. I do expect when you look at the Penn State game from last year, there were a lot of missed opportunities, questionable play calls. Some of these things I expect to be worked out as we have a new play caller next year. And I expect also, too, for these guys to have a better feel for each other and for the offense. And you'll be playing in front of a friendly crowd in Jordan-Hare, which means you'll be able to hear each other, understand signals. You'll be able to play a lot better and more freely. Auburn actually plays really well at home. So I expect a better time offensively. That's the only game that I could see causing us to dip below 30 points per game. And I actually expect that game to actually be close to 30, regardless of outcome, considering Auburn actually plays better this year than it does last year. So I'm going facts.
All right, fellas, facts or not? Auburn baseball will win its NCAA regional this year.
With absolutely no reasoning whatsoever, I'm going to go facts because War Eagle.
You took my answer, dog. You took my answer.
Nah, man, you got to win 2 series. I think Auburn can do that if the bats wake up. We've had a little tough stretch here with actually producing runs. The pitching has been fairly solid. But yeah, we can win 2 series. Sure. Go Auburn.
Of course, I'm going to say facts, guys. Yeah, no real reason. We're hosting the regional. That helps. Our toughest competition, I expect, could be UCLA. Should they beat Florida State and we meet them in the second series of this regional, they could stand to be some tough competition. But like I mentioned, I have a lot of confidence in our pitching, and I expect Auburn to make some noise. I think Auburn can go far this year. War Eagle, big facts here.
I am going to say facts for no other reason than we are playing at Plainsman Park at home. But baseball is about playing well at the right time, similar to college basketball, and we didn't play our best baseball. We had a chance to capture a bye, and we didn't because we couldn't beat Kentucky one more time in the last few games of the season. Now, that doesn't bode well, and pitching has been faltering a little bit here of late, but a team who has played well into their potential at some point in the year can absolutely recapture that magic. And why not us? I don't care if it's Florida State or UCLA. I say we win the regional at home. We better. Butch and the boys going to do the job, man. Facts.
All right, you know what time it is now. It's time for our RogueShop.com fan question of the week. And this week's fan question comes from our guy, Walt Taylor. He is hitting us up on Instagram at GWT2Energy, and he says, facts or nah, Auburn's QBs will average 9 yards per pass in 2022. He clarified that's yards per attempt next season. Phyllis, what are we feeling about that one?
Yeah, I'm gonna go nah, dog. Nah, bruh. While you have to keep in mind, Auburn averaged 6.8 yards per attempt last year, and I expect that. I mean, it's not like we didn't try to throw the ball downfield last year, so it's not like we're going to start doing it this year. But I do hope that we're able to do it with some efficiency this upcoming season, which will yield in a better outcome in our passing game and our offense overall. The run game needs for us to be able to be more efficient in our downhill passing. I do expect that to improve as we get other receivers involved in the offense, but you're talking about almost 3 yards of a leap this year. I'm going to err on the side of conservatism and just say nah.
I'm going to say nah as well. That's a big leap. That's a big leap. That's too big a jump. It's not that we can't be more productive, but if our offense is working the way we hope it works, our attempts should be going down because we shouldn't have to throw to move the ball. And it could be as simple as an 8-yard completion on 3rd and 5, and then we're back to running the ball. So I don't expect our numbers to go up dramatically. We still have to find the right combination of wide receivers. Unlike last year where we thought some guys didn't play, I think we've got those guys in the room, but we've got to find our correct depth chart to make sure we're getting our best pass catchers on field. Maybe we don't have those game one. Maybe it takes 2 or 3 games to figure out who those guys are. But I expect us to have a shorter passing game, more intermediate passing game to complement a much stronger run game. So I don't think we'll get the distance on our pass completions that allows us to go over 9 per attempt. So I'm going to say nah.
I am going to say facts on this one. So I don't know if 9 yards through the air on average would be a harder question for me to say. I just think we're going to have a better pass game that's going to net us more yards per pass attempt. We're going to be trying to hit those intermediate shots more often. Our short passes are going to be more effective. So I think that we will get up above that 9 yards average this season. So I am going to say facts on this one. We're going to get it done through the air per attempt. All right, that's it for another great edition of Facts or Nah, brought to you by RogueShop.com. Make sure you visit them online for all of your herbal supplement needs. Outside of that, guys, we want to hear from you. We want to keep getting those questions, so you need to hit us up on Facebook or Instagram and hashtag Facts or Nah, and we can get your question on the next version of this show. Outside of that, you need to be hitting us up on social media. We are at The War Report on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. TW Report on TikTok. That's it. We're signing off, and until next time, War Eagle.
War Eagle.
War Eagle.